Are you ready to launch your coaching or your course? Then you're going to love this. This is the simplest launching process ever, and I'm about to give it to you right now. All right, welcome back. These 5 steps that I'm about to give you are a part of the simplest launching process ever, and it's something that I shared inside of my program, Create and Fill Your Coaching Program. So if you'd like more details on that program as you listen to this and you feel like, well, I need a little bit more help creating my coaching program, or I need some more help filling it and getting clients, or I need a client contract, or I need, help with pricing, all of that. It's a really great beginner program. All you have to do is tap the link in the bio. I'll also create a short link so you can go to letitia.tv/coaching, and that will take you directly to the training. I did a 60-minute training where I talked about how I got started with coaching, how I chose pricing, how I got my first couple of clients, how I made $2,400 from those first clients, and all of that. And after you watch that training, you'll get an invite to join us inside of Create and Fill Your Coaching Program. So this is a piece of that, but if you'd like more, click the link in the bio or go to letitia.tv/coaching. Okay. So step 1, here's the simplest launching process ever. Before we get to step 1, what is a launch? A lot of times people try to do a launch, but they put a lot of pressure on it and they feel like, oh, it's a launch, like I'm birthing a baby, I'm doing this thing. And they have what's called failure to launch because they end up not launching anything at all or not starting. So a launch is simply when you open the doors and you tell people, now you can buy. That's really what it is. So just getting it down to the basics. If you think of a restaurant in your area, typically their launch is, they have created the burgers already and they've opened the doors, but they haven't had a grand opening yet. So, people are coming in and, they're eating there or whatever. And then after like a week or so, they have a grand opening. That is essentially what a launch is. So even though you've created your course or your program, or you've written out what you want to do, and maybe you've gotten a couple people that have asked about it, or you kind of talked about it, you haven't made this grand opening yet. And so that's essentially what a launch is. It doesn't have to have a lot of moving parts. I'm going to give you the simplest launching process right now, but it's just a way for you to tell people, hey, the doors are open and now you can come by. Okay. And what we're talking about is launching. It could be your coaching offer. It could be your course. And you're wanting to get people into those programs. Okay. So step 1 is to remove the focus from yourself. So I talked about this a little bit already, as far as you could be blocking your money if you are, being a little bit too much of a perfectionist and you're scared to fail. The best way to get over that is to remove the focus from yourself. So if you stop worrying about, well, people are going to be looking at me a certain way, or I'm going to fail, and start thinking about instead the people that you're here to help, right? Because you do have a message, you have a purpose, you have a reason for getting out there. And if you don't get out there, the message is still going to get out there, but you won't be the messenger. Okay. So if you want to be that messenger, you're going to have to get over your fear of failing, and you're going to have to get over yourself. So remove the focus from yourself and put the focus instead on your ideal client. Okay. Step 2, reconnect with your why behind the why. Okay. There's a reason that you started doing this. Was it that you wanted to earn more for your family? Was it that you've always wanted to do this? What was it that inspired you to even get started? Reconnect with that why behind the why. Okay. So you want to stop comparing yourself and focus on the true reason that you're sharing what you're sharing. Okay. So reconnect with your why behind the why. Okay. Once you've gotten that in place and you've gotten your mental state in place, you can move on to step 3, which is pay attention. Okay. So I want you to pay attention. Where are your people the most active? Where are your ideal clients the most active? Is it a certain organization? Is it in a certain Facebook group? Is it, on a certain Instagrammer's page? And then where are you personally having conversations with them? Okay. And if you're not already having conversations with them, then that's something that you should start doing. When you have conversations with your ideal clients, with the people that you want to bring into your coaching or your courses, you're not only going to get more content for the content that you want to create that's going to draw them in, because you're going to see the questions that they're asking, things that, conversations that they're having, fears and doubts that they have. But you're also going to start creating those true fans who are going to be excited to work with you and who are going to say, like what she's saying sounds interesting. Let me go and see what else she's about. And they're going to read the rest of your stuff that you've got, and then they're going to be excited about working with you. Step 4 is to start sharing your story. Okay. So you want to share your story when it comes to how you got started, why you got started, what makes you passionate about what you do, what was your turning point? What was that moment when you realized that this is your message? What was the moment that turned everything around for you? How did you come up from where you were, where your clients probably are now, so that you can bring them to where they want to be? Like, what is that story? Okay. You want to keep it clear. I know a lot of times there's a lot that we want to share because we do have a large backstory, but you want to only include the things that are relevant to the natural flow of your story. And I go into this a lot more inside of the Create and Fill Your Coaching program offer. But when you're sharing your story, like, for example, when I shared my story of, how I started my business, I also have a story of how I got out of debt, but the how I got out of debt story is not really relevant to the how I started my business piece. So it's not something that I included when I talk about my business story. Okay. So you want to kind of tailor your story to the journey that your ideal client is making. Because really, your story is not about you. Your story is a way for your ideal client to connect with you so that they can say, she knows exactly what I'm going through, and therefore I want to work with her. You definitely want to break up the text. So a lot of people, when they share their story, they just share like chunks and paragraphs. Break it up so that people will be interested in reading it. And then make sure you share your offer at the end. Usually what I do is a teaser. So if you look on my About page, if you were to go to letitiastyles.com and click on the About page, you'll notice that my story is there. And at the bottom, my offer is an email offer. So it's, hey, click here to get something via email. Sometimes you're going to be sharing your story on a sales page. So it might be a little bit shorter. And then you'll go into your actual offer, which is your course or whatnot. When you're first kind of testing out and creating your story, just go ahead and go directly into your offer. And what I've been doing inside of the private student group for this course is I've been going in and helping people with their story and their offer and kind of critiquing it and sharing with them and helping them transition and all that. So if you do decide to sign up for the course, then you'll also get my personal help with that. Step 5 is just share your offer. So you've been telling your story, you've been interacting with people, you've been going to where your ideal clients are hanging out, and now it's just time to share your offer. So how do you do that? Well, you can do it on a live stream. You can do a short IGTV video. You can do a YouTube video, wherever you feel like you could get the most traction. Typically, I tell people to share it in a live stream simply because live streaming is still kind of new. And it's easy to, tell people like, hey, I'm going to be live on this day with this topic. We're going to be talking about this. And people are more likely to show up because they know that they can't watch it later since it's a live stream. And you can even tell them, hey, there won't be a replay. One platform that I recommend that was very popular, some people fell off, but it's actually been really helpful in the last couple of weeks, is Periscope. So I actually built my coaching business on Periscope by doing Periscope videos and live streams and telling people, hey, tap the link in my bio to go sign up for my email list. And that's how I built an email list from like 10 people to like thousands and thousands of people after using Periscope. And then I started dabbling in a little bit of Facebook ads, but it was Periscope. And that was how I built my platform. That's how I built my message and how I got more comfortable with speaking off the cuff with like not scripting. Like I have like a couple of lines of stuff bullet points that I want to make sure I cover, but I don't have a script for my videos. So what I would recommend is check out Periscope. Go live on Periscope. The benefit that you'll get from Periscope versus going live on Facebook is that, or even Instagram, is that people can share your streams on Periscope. So you have the ability to reach more people. With Facebook, you're live streaming to your own people. And although people can share, Facebook does not prioritize those shares. Okay. So even though people are sharing and it's helpful, it's really like the algorithm is just not in your favor. I'm just going to be honest. With Instagram, you don't even have the ability to share someone's live stream and then it expires after 24 hours. With IGTV, you do have that video where you can leave it there, but it's not like a live. So there's no interaction while you're on the video. Periscope has it all. You've got interaction while you're on the video. You've got the ability for people to share. You can use hashtags and connect it to Twitter, and people can find it on Twitter through different hashtags. So you have the ability to create and grow an audience where people can discover you. And that's why I'm kind of falling back in love with Periscope. If you want to follow me on Periscope, just go to periscope.tv/Letitia Styles TV, and you'll be able to find me and follow me there. So I hope this is helpful. This is the simplest launch process ever. Let me share really quickly how you share your offer. In your live stream and that short video, what you're going to do is you're going to provide some valuable content. So helping people with your topic, talking to them more about it, starting a conversation, and then letting them know, hey, I'm now opening the door to such and such coaching program, or I'm now opening the door to this course. Here's how you get it. Tap the link in my bio, which is the other great thing about Periscope is they can go tap the link in your bio. Same thing with Facebook. You have to edit afterwards and put a link in the description. And with IGTV or Instagram, you can't say like tap the link in my bio while they're watching it. So Periscope really wins from that perspective as well. And then let them know, hey, tap the link in my bio. Here's where you can get on a call with me so we can talk about your needs and help you get started with the offer. So I hope this launch process has given you a little bit of breathing room so you can just do your own launch. It really is just about having the conversation, telling people what to do, how to get it, and then going from there. So I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have other questions on launching, just leave them in the comments below and we'll keep the conversation going. And if you'd like more information on Create and Fill Your Coaching program, just click the link that's in the description box. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.